Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Lively Leah, and today I will be sharing a little story time with y'all. I've never done a story time, so this will be my first one. It happened not so long ago, probably like a month ago. It had happened. It also happened at my old job, and I no longer work there anymore because bigger and better opportunities came around. So let's just go ahead and get to the story. So pretty much, if y'all knew or not, I had a piercing that was on my cartilage. I had it on, what side was it? I think it was this side. Was it this side? Yeah, it was this side. I had a cartilage piercing on, yeah, it was this side, on my left side of my ear, and it was just a stud. I mean, I was gonna get the industrial, which is the bar, but I did not. Luckily, I did not, for reasons like what happened to me. So before, I was working at a hair salon and I was cutting hair, all those great things. And normally I go to someone who's cut my hair for years now, but she's been kind of booked lately, so I ended up using one of my coworkers to cut my hair, which was also my manager. So there was a day that I asked her to cut it, just a trim. Well, it wasn't really a trim. I cut off like about 2 inches of my hair because that's how much I wanted off. And she ended up cutting it, but a little incident happened. So while she was cutting it, she was pulling really hard on my hair, and my head was kind of going slant way, like sideways. And she kept pulling, and I've never had anyone be that rough before. Even my own hairstylist is never that rough with my head when she cuts my hair, but in this case, it was my manager, and she was pretty rough. I mean, I've heard things that she's rough, but people say it's relaxing, but this day was not relaxing for me. So she was cutting my hair, yanking on it really hard, and I was just going along with it, and all of a sudden she accidentally kind of rubs her comb against my ear and it yanks on my piercing. And at first I wasn't too concerned about it because I kept thinking like, oh, now she knows there's a piercing there, so don't hit it again, because bad things happen. So I kept thinking she had that in mind, and especially as a hairstylist, you should be careful and observe what's happening or what's on the person's head or things like that, or like what's around their ears, since their ears might stick out. So yes, you should definitely pay attention to those little details. And she ended up still cutting, and she yanked it again. And this is when the bad luck happens. When she yanked it the second time, that's when she yanked on my piercing, and it fell on the floor. And I end up touching my like where I used to have the piercing, and it was bleeding, and I was kind of traumatized at that moment, and I kept thinking like, oh my god, like, did she just rip my ear? And I kind of got scared because I kept thinking, what if I need to go to the hospital to get stitches because she ripped my ear? And yes, that sounds hella dramatic, but that's what I was thinking. So I was scared to look in the mirror, but she kept cutting. Like, even though it fell on the floor, she kept cutting. She did pick it up, handed it to me, and I was so shook because there was a lot of blood, and I kept looking at my hands that had blood on them from my piercing that was in my ear. And she just kept cutting, and I was like, what the heck? Like, she's not even like concerned or anything. And so she finishes the haircut with me like hella traumatized from the whole incident. And afterwards, she gets like a little thing to like clean the piercing with, and she ends up cleaning everything. And she gave me my piercing, and she was like, I just don't know where the back part is at. Well, she ended up ripping the whole thing out of my ear. So the whole thing was connected. She just ripped it out of my ear. So pretty much it ripped from the back. So the front went through my whole ear. And I told her I was not going to put it back in. I was already traumatized by then, so I was like, I'm not putting this thing back in. And I kept thinking, like, now the hole's the same size as, like, the diamond. So I was like, nah, not putting it back in, just for it to fall back out. So we didn't. And then she ended up not really asking me if I was okay or anything. She just started packing up her stuff, and she ended up leaving for the day. And I was so sad that whole day. Like, I wanted to cry, a whole bunch of shit. And well, she ended up leaving, and I was talking to my coworker, and he thought it was weird that I wasn't talking, so he kept asking if I was okay. And I was like, I'm just really traumatized about what happened, and I'm kind of sad about what happened too, because I wasn't expecting that. And he was all like, you know, like, I understand, you know, because he had piercings too. And he ended up, like, telling his girlfriend about it, which I thought was pretty funny, you know. He was a really funny coworker. So, yeah, my manager just did not care that she fucking ripped my piercing out of my ear. And, I kept thinking, like, if she were to rip my ear and I had to go to, like, the hospital to, like, get stitches or something, I was about to tell her, like, you're gonna have to cover my shift because fucking did this to me. So I don't know. And I had a lot of friends, like, tell me, like, maybe I should have asked her to pay me back the money that I spent on that piercing, which was, I think, $50 on it. And I did not do that, because as a good employee, I would never. I have talked about it with clients, though, about the incident. And one client, she ended up telling my manager the story, which was the manager that yanked it out my ear. And my manager was like, oh yeah, that was me. And she was just like, oh, well, your coworker did not mention a name, so that's probably good, you know. Like, she pretty much kept it on the low, because I'm not that type of person to be calling someone out on something. Like, if it happens, it happens. It's a mistake, you know. So yeah, it just happened. And I no longer have the piercing. The hole had closed. I have a little keloid there, very little, you can barely see it. Actually, I can't really feel it anymore. So I was using, like, the toothpaste stuff and putting it, like, on my ear and shit like that. So yeah, but yeah, it's better now. Yeah, that's pretty much my story of what happened. And yeah, I know it's a really short story, but I mean, I just had to tell y'all this story. It was just crazy, and I feel like it was definitely life-changing, because ever since then I was very careful with clients and stuff. Like, I would tell them, like, oh, you know, this happened to me, so, you know, that's why, you know, I'm very, very cautious now. I mean, I was always cautious since the beginning, but I was extra cautious after that day. And so, yeah, but yeah, I just thought I'd share that little story time with you. And if you liked it and would like more of a story time, just let me know, and I'll see what I could do. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment, do all those amazing things, and I hope to see y'all soon. Bye, guys.